Hey folks, welcome to the next installment of Let's Play AGEOD's Civil War. You remember in the last turn we lost Baltimore, which is terrible. And it happened, I believe, because these troops embarked onto boats somewhere in the Chesapeake, maybe here from Leonardtown or something, and went up the Chesapeake and landed in Baltimore and sort of caught me where my defenses were low. And the reason that was able to happen was because I haven't been really paying much attention to my Navy. I had this group here in Hampton Roads to make sure that uh, the Confederacy couldn't pull troops out in this direction from the Richmond area, but I have a feeling that these guys didn't come from Richmond. They came from maybe Tappahannock or Leonardtown or Port Tobacco's mine, Fredericksburg maybe, I don't know. But so I'm crashing all the boats I could find. There's one here in Annapolis, a couple in New York, a couple in Boston. I'm crashing them all here to this region, hopefully to try to make sure that Longstreet here can't retreat the same way he got there. So this will pin him where he is, I hope. Meanwhile, what else am I going to do here? In good news, before I go back to Baltimore, Kearny has taken Winchester. And it looks like, if you recall, there was a structure here called, what was it called? Stratford Depot? No, that's not right. Strasburg Depot? Yeah, that's it. Um, it looks like it's gone. Depots can be, I guess, created. I've never done this before, but created in any region. And I think that was one of them. And any depot can be destroyed. So it looks like they ripped it up. Uh, don't know why. Maybe they realized they were going to lose in this area anyway, so they ripped their depot up. That's good news for me because that was a supply cache that the Confederates had that was helping them maybe move in this area. Now that they've ripped it up, their nearest depot is down here in Charlottesville, which means they're going to have to go farther outside their supply lines to attack into Pennsylvania. So I'm going to leave Kearny there, let him rest up a little bit, and see what these troops do that just ripped up the depot. So back to Baltimore. What am I going to do? Well, the first thing I'm doing is I'm pulling this corps out of Alexandria back to Washington, D.C., and I'm going to abandon Alexandria. The Confederacy can have it if they want. Reason is, I only got 2 divisions here in Washington, and Longstreet sort of has a clear shot to get to Washington if he wants it. I'm going to railroad these guys, I think. It'll take him a day. It'll use some railroad capacity, but I want them there as fast as possible. So I'll have 4 divisions plus assorted units here in Washington to defend it. Hopefully that'll be enough. Meanwhile, up here in Pennsylvania, it looks like Pittsburgh is not being threatened anymore. So I'm going to take Keyes' command. It looks like he's active. I'm going to take his corps. And I'm going to have him try to chase this guy off. I'll railroad him over there. So with Keyes taking care of this Confederate force, it looks like Crittenden then could be free to move down here to York. So that's what I'm going to do. I guess I'll have him walk there because I don't want to use too many railroad points this turn. But that'll hopefully, I can't attack him with Crittenden. He has 3 divisions plus Christopher Auger at his command, which is a lot. But Longstreet has a lot of troops. But hopefully by having Crittenden here, Longstreet can't move north, else he'll run into Crittenden and I'll have the advantage because I'll be on the defensive side. So that's my plan for now. I'm going to try to bottle them up, moving the ships here, bolstering Washington, D.C.'s defenses, and moving Crittenden to York just to sort of surround them. And in a second, next turn after, hopefully I'll figure out how to assault him. Maybe I'll have to pull Phil Kearny over too so we can attack him. One other thing I'm doing is I've grabbed a bunch of reinforcements, about 3 divisions worth, up here in Boston. So they won't be ready for, something like 4 turns, but when they are ready, I'll have 3 more divisions to play with in this theater. Maybe those 3 divisions will make the difference in trying to take Baltimore back. So I think those are all my plans in this theater. Moving west to Kentucky. It looks like this force that took Dayton, Ohio, some of it has split off and gone to Indianapolis. That's really good news for me, actually. Grant is not fully rested, but he's mostly rested. He got 1 fresh division from Pittsburgh. So I'm going to take Dayton back now. There's a bunch of troops left here, but it's nothing close to the the force that chased Grant to Cincinnati earlier, because it's now split in two. So I'm going to have Grant take Dayton back. I'll take Rosecrans. He is not activated, unfortunately. It'd be great if he was, but I will send him to Indianapolis to try to save that city before Breckinridge here can take it. I don't have barely anything in Indianapolis defending it right now. So we may lose it, but hopefully Rosecrans, or maybe with Grant's help, will take it back shortly. Moving into the west, the Confederacy has a lot of units sort of moving around St. Louis still. This guy here has been bopping around but not doing anything for quite a while. Albert Sidney Johnston at one point moved up here just to move back, and now he appears to be moving up again. So I still only have one division here in St. Louis defending. I hope that's enough. Worst comes to worst, I can pull maybe Rosecrans back to St. Louis to help defend. I'd hate to lose St. Louis, so we'll see what happens. Moving down the map, there's Van Dorn. He's still hanging around in Indian territory. Lyons arrived to the region next to Little Rock. His troops are tired, so I'm going to give him a rest. It looks like there's not a lot of defenses in Little Rock, so that's good news. Hopefully maybe I can take it next turn or the turn after. Down here in New Orleans, it looks like Joe Hooker in one turn will make it back to New Orleans after having taken all these forts. So this guy's been a real champ for me this game. Once he's back in New Orleans, we'll take stock and hopefully start him marching up into Mississippi. I think that's it. Looks like I need to buy more railroad points. 60 of them is good. And my replacement pool, I've made sure that's full. All right, let me pause it, and we'll take a look at what carnage happens this time. Alrighty, well, we lost Indianapolis before Rosecrans was able to get there. Maybe we'll take it back immediately when Rosecrans arrives. We'll find out. I'll pause it. Let's see what else happens. Well, the Confederacy's taken Clarksburg back. This is the little town in Kentucky that Grant took earlier. So, oh well, not that big of a loss, but it stinks nonetheless. Here, I'll pause it. Let's see what else happened. Okay, guys, here we are on the next turn. That was all the excitement for the last turn. I'm trying to do this quickly. These videos are getting pretty long, and I'm on video 22 now or something. And we're something like halfway through the game. I told you at the very beginning this is a very complicated and involved game. So, what's going on? We have our surrounding of Longstreet occurring. Here's a fleet there that I just organized. Looks like the Confederates have another force in the Chesapeake. I'll let them sit there. With this fleet there, I don't think they can land anywhere useful. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe they'll go over here and attack Delaware. There won't be much about. You can't stop that so easily. So we'll see what they do. Crittenden arrived here, and we have our large force now in Washington, D.C. defending that. So Longstreet's pretty surrounded. That's all I'm going to do for now until I can bring more troops to bear to attack them. Joe Johnston is up here in southern Pennsylvania, so let's try to chase him out with Keyes' division. That's about it for the east. Here in Kentucky and Ohio and Indiana, it looks like we have a pretty large division besieged here in Dayton. That's really good news, actually, because Grant's force can wallop those guys. I'll put them in defensive mode for a moment until we can maybe get a breach in their defenses, and then I'll attack next turn. We have some problems in Indiana. Breckinridge is besieging my small militia in Madison. I think there's not much I'm going to do about that right now because there's another smaller force sort of on the loose up here in Indiana. So I'm going to take Rosecrans. Oops, he's not activated right now. Well, I'll leave Rosecrans alone, and once he becomes activated, I'll attack those guys, hopefully defeat him, and then turn him around and attack Breckinridge and push him out of Indiana. That's the plan. We'll see how that works. So here's Albert Sidney Johnston. He last turn looked like he might be moving up to St. Louis. Now he's on a boat. Maybe he's moving towards Kentucky. Yeah, things are getting sticky. Over here, General Cheatham, with a division of power 173, is besieging Jefferson City. That's not so bad. Jefferson City is not the most important place. I'd rather hang on to Rolla because that's a depot. But since I don't see any other, any other threats in this area right now. I'm going to take this division, send him off here. I'll railroad him. And he's not activated. So let's see, do I have anybody who is? Halleck is here. Well, this guy's active, but he's not senior to that guy. So anyway, I'm going to send this guy off to Jefferson City, hopefully push him out, even though I can't activate and can't attack him. This is a force's power is 432, so it's a pretty superior force to that guy. Here, I'll give him another general. There's no more command penalty. 480 is the power of this division. So hopefully we'll push him out of Jefferson City with that. We're leaving our defenses in St. Louis pretty slim, but it's just for one turn, and I don't see any other threats, so I hope that's okay. Lion, he's going to continue to sit and recover cohesion at least one more turn. And over here, Joe Hooker finally arrived back in New Orleans, and I'm giving him 3 divisions now, and I'm moving him one region off. Hopefully the turn after that we'll take Springfield. I'm leaving 1 division in New Orleans to defend. Since we're going to be now taking sort of this area, I feel like the chance of New Orleans getting attacked is now less, because they'll have to go through Hooker to get there anyway. So I'm only leaving 1 division behind now. Let me pause it. I think that's the end of this turn, and I'll hit do the inner turn. We'll see if anything happens. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Before I hit end turn on this turn, a new option has popped up in our politics section, the Emancipation Proclamation. Of course, I'm going to click that. I'm a little unclear on how this works. I don't think this takes effect next turn. I think it takes a while. Maybe it waits for us to have a big victory before it takes effect. But we gain a bunch of national morale and victory points, and it makes it a lot less likely that the British will join the Confederacy on the war. So of course I'm going to free the slaves. Click that button. So here, let me pause it, and now I'll do the inner turn. Yeah, so Breckinridge here in Madison, he had a besiege, and I only had a small militia unit there, and he took it. So that stinks, but it was totally expected. Yeah, let's pause it, see if anything else happened. Alright, that's it for this turn, and I'll end this video here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.